Hi guys, it's Mary Jo from Mary Jo's Creations. I just wanted to come on here. I haven't posted in a few days. I actually haven't filmed anything in a few days. I haven't been feeling well. Um, I believe I said it in another video. I had gone to the doctor, and if you've watched me before, first, sorry. Hi everybody. If you've been here before, how y'all doing? I hope everyone's good. Thank you so much for coming back. If you're new here, welcome. I like to crochet a lot while I talk, and these videos are usually longer videos because I want to just chat with you while I crochet, while I show you stuff. Some of the videos are a little bit different than others. I'm very new at this. I'm still learning, but welcome and I hope you stay. Now, for some of you who have watched my other videos, you know that I have widespread fibromyalgia. But on top of that, I have been, I've had a thyroid condition probably since I've been about 16. And my thyroid levels are very low. If you watched one of my last videos, I did have a doctor's appointment, and I got my test results back, and my thyroids are extremely low, and they put me back on medication. Most likely it's why I've been feeling so, like, my ADHD is out of control too, my fibromyalgia, everything has been like on overdrive, and they believe it's because of my thyroids being too low, so that's always fun. But the reason why I haven't been filming is because I started taking the medication last week, and it kind of made me feel a little bit worse. I'm also taking vitamin D because apparently I'm vitamin D deficient, which is fun. And when I started taking the pill, I got very nauseous and very, like, feeling just sick, like where I feel very nauseous all the time, and I've also started feeling extremely dizzy. I've been able to crochet a little bit, and I'm going to show you. But definitely not the way I normally crochet. Probably for maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes at a time. And then I start to get very dizzy. And so I have to stop. And then I start feeling a little bit better, and then I sit down. Sorry, my hair is like, I normally have my hair up, but anyway, one thing at a time, Mary Jo. This is another reason why I haven't filmed, because it's like my brain is all over the place, and I start one conversation and then I get distracted and start another one, and I don't want to sound like a crazy person. But I've been, working on these custom bags, and I just haven't been filming anything because like I said, I've been feeling really, really, like, dizzy, and I can't, like, keep a train of thought. And I'm sure it's the medication that's trying to force it to start working, and I don't know. I actually have a doctor's appointment today. But I'm going to keep making videos. Hopefully very soon. Like I said, I have a doctor's appointment today, so I'm going to talk to the doctor. And hopefully soon I will start to feel better. But I just wanted y'all to know, and I wanted to show you what I've been working on. I don't know how much of... I wanted to do a video for St. Patty's Day and how much green I could make from now until St. Patty's Day. But honestly, the way I'm feeling, I don't know how much I might get done. But I'm going to still try and do that video. And I do want to show you everything that I made in February and how many yarn labels I used in February. There are a few videos that I want to get out. Unfortunately, I've just been feeling so dizzy that it's hard for me to stand. It's also been giving me headaches, like pressure above my eye. I know if y'all are seeing me with my hair down, it's like one of the first times in a long time, if ever, like all the way down, because I did have like some knots in the back of my head, and you know, my hair is very fine, but I have a lot of hair, and my hair also likes to roll into itself. So if I'm not careful, my hair, like, it'll like roll into itself, and then it's just a mess. But anyway, I finally got all the knots out of my hair, so you're going to see me with my hair down a lot, because having it up all the time the way I had it was giving me a very bad headache. And like the top of my head is still a little tender from trying to get all those knots out, but I finally got them all out, and that's why you're going to see me with my hair down a lot. It's just, my hair's very long, and like I said, it's very thin, but I have a lot of hair. And so it's very long, and it's very, very heavy. So, I'm going to, now that it's all brushed out, and I'm going to try and keep it down as much as possible. So there's going to be hair everywhere. It's very long. It's like I could sit on it. And no, I'm not cutting it. But anyway, I'm hoping, I'm going to see the doctor today, and I'm hoping that, you know, she's going to tell me that, hold on, and this is why I usually had it up. It's everywhere. Hopefully, you know, it's just the dizziness and everything is a side effect from the medication, which I'm sure it is, because unfortunately I've been here before. It's just because of everything else that's going on with me, like fibromyalgia and all of that. It's, I think, making the symptoms worse. So hopefully she'll just tell me that, you know, within a little while it'll get better, and it's nothing major, and I could keep taking the medication. But I just wanted to let y'all know. I don't know if anybody cares. But, you know, I just wanted to explain as to why I haven't been making any videos. It's just been very hard for me to turn on the camera, and like I said, like, I can't keep my thoughts straight. If I crochet more than like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I start to get very, very dizzy. I don't know if it's because I'm concentrating too much, or what, but it's just made it hard for me to film. And then again, like, I can't concentrate. And I filmed one video, to be honest with you, I had to scrap it because I was like all over the place. I didn't want anyone to think I was, a real crazy person. I mean, I'm not saying by any means, but thinking I'm losing it. I think it's from the meds. Hopefully I'll get that figured out today when I go to the doctor. Most likely what I'll do is, like this, when I come back, I'll let you know what's going on. And, like I said, hopefully I'll start feeling better very soon. But again, I don't know how I'm going to, like the March video that I wanted to make for St. Patty's Day. I can't crochet like that. Right now, it's even harder than before. I mean, it's bad enough with the fibromyalgia that I was only really able to film, like, to crochet for an hour and a half at a time, because of the pain. I can't sit here for more than an hour and a half at a time. But now, because of this, it's like 30 minutes is words. It's just like, honestly, I don't know if it's because I'm concentrating or what, but since I started taking the medicine, actually, like on January, you see, on Thursday and Friday, I felt so sick, like so nauseous, and like I couldn't barely keep my eyes open. Like I felt very dizzy. Sometimes just walking into the kitchen is a little bit hard for me because I do get dizzy. And again, when I've been sitting here and I'm like looking at my project, because, something like this is, I have to make sure I don't miss any stitches because, this is a bag and I want it to be as solid and, sturdy as possible. But these last few days, if I sit here for more than 30 minutes, I start to get very dizzy in my chair, which is fun. But hopefully we'll figure that out. Hopefully I won't have to, off the medication. If the doctor says just take the medication for another week and a half or so, it should pass, then we'll see. But I feel so bad because I wanted to do this challenge for St. Patty's Day, and because of the way I'm feeling right now, I don't think I'll be able to do it. I do want to work on my cardigan, so maybe we'll do that, and see how long it takes me to make that. Although right now, things are taking me very long to make because I can't crochet for as long as I want to. I still crochet throughout the day. It's just my time has gotten shorter. And so, like, I started this bag on Sunday. And it should have only taken me like 4 hours to do the body. Or maybe less. I don't know. I haven't been able to time myself because I can't, like, I finished one bag. And I think the whole bag took me like 5 hours to make the bag. I haven't sewn the handles on, but like making the actual bag, crocheting up the body and crocheting the straps, I believe that took me about 5 hours in total. And in crochet time, this bag, I think like the first portion where I did like the whole base and up to I think about here took me about an hour and a half or so, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. Um, Yesterday I was able to do more of the white, and I'm about halfway done on the bag. I need to go up, I think, another 14 rows right now, and I'm almost done with the white section, and then we're going to go back to the blue. I'm going to try and film some more throughout the day, which I should let you know, what the doctor says, and hopefully have this bag finished, and this video should go up by tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. I don't know. Is it the 9th? I'm telling you, like, my brain, it is... I can't concentrate for long. I can't, like, think straight because I just feel so lightheaded and loopy. And I'm pretty sure it's from the medication because apparently my thyroids weren't almost not working at all, which is bad. But it's okay. Hopefully it'll all level out and it'll be okay. And, like, I just have to bear with it, and I hope you bear with me. This thing gets so heavy, and I like it when it gets longer, because as it gets longer, like, I don't have to hold it up. But, like, when it's, like, this short and, this heavy, I have to, like, do it this way, because I try to turn it, let me turn it back. I try to turn it so it's facing me. Actually, it was inside out. Now it's the right way. But this is how this bag is looking. And if you give me a second, I'll grab the other bag so you can see what the other bag is. But if you've seen my Valentine's Day video of all the things that I, like that I made for Valentine's Day, I made a pink bag. Well, it was pink and white and red and white, I think, a mix. And I love that bag. Honestly, I've used it already quite a few times. I keep putting it back in my living room because I want to do the video for you guys of everything I did in February. And, I haven't been able to do that yet. That's, wow, I'm sorry. The doctor also thinks that my pain's intensity is also from my thyroid's not working right. So hopefully, when my thyroids get regular, my pain isn't as intensive. I mean, unfortunately, it's never going away, right? It's not progressive, but I don't know if any of y'all know about fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed with severe widespread fibromyalgia. So, unfortunately, it's never going to go away because there's no cure, there's no reversal, there's nothing. It is just what it is. Just like my thyroids, I'm going to have to take medication for the rest of my life. Sometimes they might flip, but they can always flip back, and hence that's where we are right now. Isn't that fun? But hopefully, the pain won't be as intense as it is now, where I can actually crochet for at least 2 hours. And we can get back to the, kind of the way I was in the beginning and see how many things we can make. But as of right now, it is what it is, I guess. But I'm going to be, hopefully, I need to take a break. Hopefully, once, they start working a little bit better, this will stop, and, we can get some things done. I haven't really been able to post on anything. It's just been very hard. So I want to finish this row, which is almost done. That much left. I don't know if you could see, normally I put a stitch marker, but I forgot. This is where I started, and this is what I got left. So I'm going to finish this, and then I am going to show you the bag that's almost done. I have to weave in the ends and sew on the straps, which I think I'm going to do in a little bit. Right now, after I do this, and after I show y'all the bag, I'm going to have to take a break. I'm hoping that I can get this body done by this afternoon, because this is for somebody. So, I know they want the bag as soon as possible. So they wanted specific colors, and I did one which I think is the way they're going to like it. But I wanted to, do maybe a little different variation. So they wanted light blue, white, light blue with a little pop of yellow. So that's what I'm doing. That's how I did the first bag. I did the blue and white, then pure white, then blue and white, then the handle is in yellow and white. But I thought that maybe having a solid blue would look nice. But I have to use, with this bag, you have to use 2 types of yarn. The Big Twist is the color that I used, because it's the yarn that I used, because it had the colors that I needed. And for structure, but if Big Twist is very thin. It's classified as a 4-weight, but in my opinion, out of all the 4-weights that I use, which is Loops and Threads, give me a second, I can do this, Loops and Threads, Premier Yarn, Hobby Lobby, Big Twist. Those are real, and Mainstay from Walmart. Those are really the ones that I use. And out of all of them, the Loops and Threads is the thickest and the fluffiest, which is one of the whites that I'm using here. And if you can tell, I'll show you. If you could see, it's not that much of a difference when you look at it like this. But if you see, when you pull on the Big Twist, you see how thin it gets. The Loops and Threads has more structure. And it's very similar to the Mainstay. Mainstay is even more tightly wound, so it's more like rope. which is why I like to use the mainstay when it's for projects that I need structure, right? So like my conical hat, I use the loops and threads, which is more ropey. It's the variegated, I think. And that one, if you've watched my channel before, you know that that one is like more like a real ropey like structure and not as fluffy, so it's very stiff. And that's what I use to make my conical hat. When I made my bag for Valentine's Day, I used the mainstay because it holds its structure. If I try to do it with just, I made a bag for a little girl, a friend of the family, and I made it with just Big Twist, 2 colors of Big Twist. And it's, although it was kind of sturdy, it didn't hold its shape like this bag. Now, the first bag that I made, the pink one, was with loops and thread. No, it was with mainstay and Big Twist. So the mainstay is what gave it the structure. When I made the bag that I'm about to show you, let me go get it. Okay. Well. All right. When I made this bag, my hook just fell. When I made this bag is made with mainstay and Big Twist. And if you see, you can tell the structure. That's what this one looks like. Now, I'm going to put it up on my table, right? Can you see, like, it stands up? You see that? It stands up. So it's very structured. It's very solid, and I love it. That's the only reason I made this bag with acrylic. Because normally, I don't make things with acrylic. I don't like bags. I don't make bags with acrylic because they stretch too much. But when you double strand it with a thicker yarn and a more sturdy yarn, you see there's not that much stretch to it. The sturdy yarn, which, I mean, you can use Red Heart too. I just don't like Red Heart the way it feels on my hands. It's very rough. It burns my skin, as like if I'm crocheting it for too long, my fingers start to feel like they're on fire. So I don't use the Big Twist. I mean, you see, this is what I'm talking about. I don't use Red Heart. I don't like Red Heart. I would probably try to use Red Heart for bags. But the Red Heart is really not my yarn. I don't like it. But if you can work with Red Heart is a good yarn for structure because it is like wound like the mainstay. And, you know, any yarn that's wound like rope, if you know what I mean, like, you see, like this, you can tell it's like fluffy yarn, right? And this is more structured. It's more like a rope construction. So when you mix these two together, you get a nice stiff material. And that's how I make these bags. And this is the one that I made for the commission or for my friend. And here are the straps. Now, if you know, the straps are going to be sewn directly onto the bag. They're going to be stitched on the bag like this. And so that's why they're very long. Because once you sew them on, this will pretty much, it'll be like big enough to put it around your arm and have room. And this is how the straps came out. And this is Big Twist and mainstay. And I had the big skein of the mainstay, which is 798 yards. And I have very little left. It's like, it's scrap. Like, can't do anything with it. I finished the skein pretty much, because I'm going to use that to make some more straps, so it'll be gone. But this giant skein was enough to make 2 bags with the straps. So for this bag that I'm working on right now, and I do have, like, you know, this is what I'm going to use to sew the straps onto the bag. So normally what I do is, you see there's an end on this side, right? This is when I fastened off, when I finished it. And then we have the end where I started it. The reason why I leave very long tails like this is because I like to anchor them down. So I'll start to weave in the ends, right? I'll weave in the ends to go to one side, and then I'll sew it back. I'll like kind of weave it in, or while I'm sewing it into the bag, so that it's where I need it to be. And I anchor it on both sides. And then I do the same thing with the other side, because again, I have long tails on both sides where I can anchor it down. And then I'll use, in my strength was already messed up from the fibromyalgia. It feels like now it feels even, well, I'm sorry. It really feels like I have no strength in my hands. But anyway, I have these 2 large pieces, which should be enough to sew on both. If it's not, if I need more, I have the little bit left of the ball that, again, is not a lot. But I have enough of the ball to make 2 more if I need it to sew on the straps. So that I'm going to do that in a little while. And hopefully I can finish crocheting the bag today, and then do the other straps for the bag, because those are going to be done in the loops and threads and the big twist, because that's what I'm using for this bag. And so here are the straps. Here's the bag. And that bag should be done by this afternoon. Now this bag is made with loops and threads and big twist. And see, like, you can tell it's not as tall, so it's not as top heavy as that one. That's why that one is a little wobbly, but it holds its shape. So see, this one is a little bit more than halfway. And I'm going to repeat this blue. I did the whole bottom, because, you know, you want the bottom to be darker, right? Because that's the part that you might put on a table, or put on, hopefully not, but I've done it, put it down on the floor. And you want it to be a little bit darker so it doesn't, you know, you don't see, let's be honest, the dirt. But this is very, I tried doing it with just big twist, because I have a lighter blue than this. I'm using cornflower, which is supposed to be the main color. And this is also cornflower, but it's in it's also cornflower, but it's in loops and threads. Let me see if I can show you where it says cornflower. see. Can it focus? I can't see. So this is corn flour. And this is corn flour. See right there? Can it focus? Okay, this is corn flour. Now, this is the color that I wanted. But for this bag, didn't want to do it with white and blue. I wanted to do it with blue and blue. I have a light blue that's a little bit lighter than this, which is what I tried to do. But because it's also Big Twist, it wasn't giving me the structure. It wasn't standing up straight. It wasn't holding its shape. And that's not what I wanted. These bags are to be made, this kind of bag that I'm making here is to be made where it's structured. Because you're going to put heavy things in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing's going to fall out of this bag. You can put change at the bottom of this bag. And I guarantee you that nothing is going to fall out of this bag. Unless you're dropping, like, needles, like, darning needles. This might fall out of the bag. I'm not going to say that it won't. Because, you know, it is yarn. There are little holes. You know what I mean? But anything that's big, like, you can drop, like, stitch markers. You can even put hooks in there, unless it's a very thin hook. Like, because this was essentially supposed to be, like, my new yarn bag when I want to carry around a smaller project. Because I was using this one, but this one's made in cotton. And even though it is very, very sturdy, it does not hold its shape. It's very wobbly. That's why I wanted to do a double-stranded bag. But if y'all know, cotton, double-stranding it, I mean, this hurts your hands. That's 10 times worse. And again, that would be a lot more cotton, and I would rather do it this way, now that I tried it. And I tried it because I had never done a bag in acrylic. All my bags are made in cotton. This is cotton. My granny square market bags that I make, which is just like one giant granny square, and then I gather it up like you see the regular mesh market bags. So it looks like a mesh market bag, but it's actually a granny square. And if you want to see what those look like, I have, I think there's a video on here, and I also do have a video on my Facebook channel, and on top of that, there are pictures, and they're also on my website, if you want to go look at my website. Now, you know, they are obviously a little more expensive than regular bags because they're handmade. They're one-of-a-kind bags. Even if you try to recreate them, well, not try. I could make the same bag with the same yarn, and it's still going to look different because of the yarn. Unless you're making a solid color bag. But, you know, you can go look on there if you want to see what they look like. But this yarn is definitely more structured than this yarn. And you can see it in the camera. So I started using this one, and it's a little darker than what I wanted, but at least this way he can have an option as to which bag he wants, because it's going to be a gift. So we're going to see how it's going to turn out, but this is what I'm using. If you want to make a bag like this, I might make a tutorial. I'm thinking about it, but, you know, if you want to make a bag like this, or make a sturdy bag out of acrylic yarn, I suggest that you double strand it with something that is sturdy. And again, I wish that it was lighter because it is supposed to be the light cornflower blue. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know which one he chose. But I'm almost done with this white. I'm going to take a break. I've been actually talking for 40 minutes and I haven't been crocheting that long, but I'm starting to feel a little dizzy, so I need to take a break. But isn't she pretty though? I think this one is coming out so beautiful. I mean, it might not be the color scheme that he was looking for. So if he doesn't want this bag, I might put it up on my website, because I kind of really want one like this, but I don't want the solid white. Me and solid white is never a good idea. So I think I'm going to make another bag like this, where it's maybe using these two blues, because I know I'm going to have a little bit of leftover blue when I'm done with this bag. So I might, the cornflower from Loops and Threads, so I might use that and put it into a different bag for myself and have like a different color in the middle, or maybe this time make it like, you know, like more stripes. I don't know. But she's looking so pretty, and look at how sturdy she is. You know what I mean? Like, and you can make baskets like this too. And normally I would say make them out of cotton, because I do think that cotton is a little more sturdy, especially if you're making like market bags and you're going to be putting like groceries in them, like I use mine. These are very good. This, you can't even imagine how much that holds. I've packed it where it's like really heavy, and I've had no problems with it walking home. So, you know, but this, and for the summertime, I think it's better with cotton. But this is a really cute little bag that you could make for like the wintertime, or, you know, like, I mean, honestly, I would probably use it. I might make a light one with like, I do like the way the yellow and white turned out. Maybe make a mix of colors. I don't know yet. You know me, everything is, I make one thing, I have the idea when I start crocheting sometimes to make one thing, and 9 times out of 10, it turns into something else. So, this video is getting very long. Most likely what I'll do is I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to go take a break. I might crochet a little bit more before I have to go to the doctor. And when I come back, I'll let you know what's going on. And I'll show you the progress on the bag. And hopefully we'll have it completed. Because I really do want this video to go up tomorrow on Wednesday. And so it can also be like my Whip Wednesday. And a little update. Again, I don't know if anyone really cares how I'm feeling, but, you know, I just wanted to explain why I haven't been putting videos up. I put one up last week, two up last week, two up last week. I think I wasn't able to get a video out on Friday, but I'll let you know what's going on as soon as I know what's going on. You'll see me in just a second. Hey guys. It's late. I came back from the doctor's office and I finished the second bag. Let me see. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer, and I'm going to lean back because I feel better than I did before, but I still don't feel too good. My hair, but I finished the bag. Like I said, I did go to the doctors, and they, changed my medication, so we're going to see, how I feel tomorrow. And they gave me something for the nausea, so hopefully that'll help. But, we'll see what happens. But I did finish the bag, and I already finished one strap. I'm doing another strap right now. This is my second strap. And once I'm done with this strap, all I have to do is weave in all the ends from the bag, which is, I think, 2 ends. The start one and the finish one, right? Because if you've been here and you watch my channel, I don't really, I tie everything. I make it a super, I don't know what kind of knot it's called. Don't ask, because I don't know. And maybe one day I'll show you when I go to do it. When I'm making my squares, I can show you. But I just make a knot and make sure it's secure. And then I just crochet with it. Normally, I can make sure that, like, the knots stay on the inside of the project. It's really just how you crochet it. If they end up on the front, I just adjust my tension and, redo it and put it to the inside of the project. But anyway, I don't have any ends to weave in except for the bottom one and the top one. And then, I believe I said it before, I'm going to, I did leave long ends on the straps, because what I plan on doing is, my hands don't want to work right. I plan on weaving in the ends. These really long ends, what I plan on doing is sewing them to the bag before I sew the bag on, to make sure that they're, like, anchored in place before I start sewing them, so that way they don't really move. So what I'm going to do right now, it's late, but I know that I can finish the straps tonight. The strap, because again, I only have this one left. And this should take me about another maybe 10 to 15 minutes, if that. All I have to do is, I just started on the second row of half doubles, because the way I'm doing the straps, I don't think I showed you, is I do the chain, right? I do the chain, and then I do a single crochet all the way down. And then I do 3 rows of half double crochets. And then I finish it off with 2 rows of single. And that's how I've been doing my straps for this bag. Because again, I love the half double crochet because it does give it the height, but it doesn't have, like, really open gaps. And I'm not doing solid single crochets up and down the bag. That's just the straps. That's just not happening. I don't do any of my bags that way. Even when I do them for my market bags, I always do half double crochet. I do, like I said, I do the chain in a single crochet, and then I do the center of the strap in half doubles, and then I do 2 rounds of single crochet to match the starting chain and the single crochet. And that's how I do my straps. And this one is the last one. All my other straps are done. I had already done the straps for the first bag, which I believe I showed you. And I just finished the second strap a little while ago. And I took a break. And now I'm trying to finish this strap. And honestly, I forgot to film. And right now I was sitting here and I realized, oh shit, I'm almost done with this strap. Because again, this will take me probably, 15 minutes, if that. I think the strap takes me about, half an hour to 45 minutes. It's pretty long, you know what I mean? It takes me about 45 minutes or so to finish the strap. And if you know that the hardest part of that is the chain and the first single crochet. Everything else after that is pretty simple and quick. But this is a long strap too, because I chained 110 for the strap. It gives it a nice size, because I sew it really onto the back, there's a good, I think about 2 to 2.5 inches that's sewn directly onto the bag. I don't know if you've seen my pink bag that I made, but when I tell you that they're secure, they're secure. So, because I sew that much onto the bag, I made the strap extra long so that, I like my strap to be able to put it onto my arm, right? I want enough room. I hate bags that you can't put onto your shoulder. So that's how I make my straps. It took me a while to figure out the right count for the straps. In the beginning, I was making them kind of long on my market bags, but, you learn. I've literally only been doing this this is my 3rd year. So, and I think, even then, even if you're crocheting for 30 years, there's still always something to learn, right? I know people who've been crocheting for 30, 40 years, and they can't do anything unless it's in a pattern. So, everybody's different, and that's cool. They can do exactly what the pattern says, but they can't freehand. And that's all I do. So, it's different for me. And I try to learn as much as I can because, again, I can't, I won't follow a pattern. I get too confused trying to read it. I have nothing against patterns. But then again, I'm also not the chick who, I never wanted what everybody else had. I like making my own thing. Always have. But that's a different story for another day. I like being unique. Now, if you want to learn what I'm doing, I would love that. I think I might do a tutorial on this bag, although I've never done a tutorial in my life. I don't think I'm a great teacher, although I've been told otherwise. I don't know. But I don't mind at all showing you how I do things. The different techniques that I use and the different style that I use when I do things like straps for bags or my cuffs on my sweater. I've been crocheting for a bit, so I'm starting to get in a little bit of pain. But we're just going to keep on going because I'm not stopping until I finish this strap. And I'm halfway there. Like, all I have to do is one more row of half doubles and 2 rows of singles. So I am going to finish this strap. But I just wanted to come on here and show you my progress. This is what I have done so far. I'm almost done. As soon as I'm done with the strap, honestly, I don't know if I'll be sewing anything tonight. It is already very late. It's past 10 o'clock. It's probably close to 11 by now. I'm not going to lie. I have absolutely no idea. But I am not going to go to sleep until these straps are done, but I don't think I can sew them tonight. I've had a very long day. You know, I had a lot going on today, and I was at the doctor's for a while. I had to take blood. I had to get my new medication. And by the time I got home, I was just drained. Like I said, was able to finish the bag. By the time I got home, you'll see where I was. Like, I don't remember how far up I was on the bag, but I believe I was already in the second section of blue. And I did most of it while I was at the doctor's office. And then when I got home, I just needed to do 1 row of half doubles and 1 row of single. And then, again, I did the other strap. And then I needed to take a break. Well, I think I finished the bag, I took a break, and then I did the other strap, and it was like almost 6 o'clock, and I needed to take a break. So, I am almost done now. And then all I have to do is sew the bag together. So I'm going to go finish this strap. And before I am done for the night, I'll come on and show you the bag and the straps. And hopefully tomorrow morning, because I do want to give my friend the bags tomorrow and let him choose which one he wants. So I'm going to most definitely finish this in the morning. And I'm okay with that, because I think it's close to 11 and I want to go to sleep. I don't feel good. I feel better than I did before, but I still don't feel great. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go finish this, and I will show you everything before I go to sleep. Okay, guys, straps are done, bags are done. I'm just going to show you these right now, and then in the morning, when I go to sew them all up, I'll show you. I'm not doing that tonight. But here's one strap completely finished. I think it looks so pretty. It reminds me of lemon sherbet. I don't know. And strap number 2 is done. So we have 2 straps. And here's the bag. Isn't she pretty? And again, I mean, you saw it stood up better before, but that's because of the fact that, you know, it is top heavy. So it will just, like, if you hold it like this, it stays up. See? But if you put it down, it might tip over just because of the weight of it. But this is a very sturdy bag. And again, like, if you put something thin in it, like a crochet hook like this, or a yarning needle, yeah, that I'm sure it will go through the bag. You know what I mean? But like anything else, like, nothing's going to go through the bag. You can drop change in here. You can put whatever you want in here. It's not going to go through the bag. And I have 2 ends to sew in, weave in, just like I do on that one. I honestly, like, hate double stranding because, like, you have to pull each strand to get it to, like, fully tighten. That's the word I was looking for. So tomorrow, I'm so sorry. Tomorrow, I will weave in the ends on both bags. See the ends in here? I gotta flip the bag inside out anyway to weave in the ends. So we're gonna weave in all the ends tomorrow, which are the same on both bags, just the bottom and the top. And you kind of do see the line, but I don't know, you can and you can't. But I'm going to put the tag on the front. So, you know what side is the front and what side is the back. But tomorrow we are going to weave in the ends and sew the straps on. And then I'll show you what the bags are, or how the bags look. But I'm going to say goodnight, and I will see y'all in the morning. Alright guys, I'll catch up with you in the morning and show you the finished bags, or I don't know. The videos are already getting long. So, you know, I'm not going to sew everything in on camera, but I already have my pieces of yarn to sew in the straps. So, on the straps. And I got the same over there. So, this is what yarn I have left over from the yellow. It made four straps. Yeah, 4 straps. And that's all I have left. Which really isn't a lot, but I have that much after making the straps and cutting off the pieces to sew in the straps. That's what I have left. This white was what I used in the bag and for the straps. And this one's looking kind of sad too. But thank God, because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough. And this is the only skein of white that I have in Loops and Threads. And for this bag, again, you need a yarn that's a thicker, more structured yarn. And then you can do the secondary color in a thinner yarn, which is what I did. But you do need at least, if you want it to be structured like this, like to be stiff and be able to stand up on its own, you need to have that thicker yarn, like I said. The mainstay or the loops and threads works, obviously. Or maybe a red heart would work, but I don't really use red heart. But that's going to be it for right now, and I will catch you all in the morning. Okay, hi guys. It's the next day. I finished both straps for both bags, and I pinned them all on the bags. My other one is done too. But that's, sorry, over there, and I am going to start to sew these on. I hate this part. My hair is all over the place. I'm going to need to put it up in order to sew. So I'm just going to put it in a ponytail. Well, not a ponytail, but... Alright, there we go. So I'm going to start sewing these in. I'm going to do one bag at a time. I'm going to try and anchor it like I said. I'll show you on this side. Okay, on these, I didn't do that to those bags, but I don't have enough of these. I don't know where all my... I gotta go through everywhere because I have more stitch markers. But that's okay. I did put these down here, and what I'm gonna do is secure the bottom first, and then work my way up, around, down, and then I'm going to try and do like I did last time and like do across, then go back this way, then go down, then go back this way. That's how I did it last time. I was trying to find a better way to do it so it wouldn't look, but we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to go do this, and then I'll show you when I have the first side done. It took me a while to pin everything down and get it in the right place. I still don't know if it's the right place. I should be counting it out, but you know what? I don't think I'm going to do that. I think they look good where they are. They look centered to me. And my brain right now is really not in any condition to do math right now. I'm feeling a lot better than I was yesterday. And last night I did take a lower dose of the thyroid medication. And I actually do feel a little bit better. So hopefully it'll work. But it's just gonna take time. So, and I hate putting these in because, yeah, it does help. It secures, but it's such a pain to get them out. And, oh, Jesus. All right. I'm going to go work on this, and I'll get back to you in just a sec. Okay. Now, I made a boo-boo. I did the bag. The first one, I know I showed it, the blue and white bag with the white center and the blue and white, and I sewed the strap on, both the straps, and it looked absolutely gorgeous. And then I went to go take it to my friend and forgot to film it. Forgot to show it to you, even forgot to take a picture. The good thing is that I did take this one for him to see, because I think the other one looked more of like what he asked for, and I wasn't sure that he was going to want this one, so I took that one, and this one I still needed to sew the straps on. So when he saw it, he's like, I'll take both. So I had to come home and sew the straps on, and that's when I remembered I didn't even film the last one. Like, once the straps were done, I didn't take any pictures, but I'm hoping that I'll get a picture of the other one when I go to drop this one off. But that here is what it looks like. I think they came out so cute. They really did. They came out absolutely adorable. I don't know what that shadow is. Oh, I know what it is. Hold on. Okay, I had a light on. Anyway, this is what the bag looks like. Here are the straps. They're all sewn on. And I think she looks absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm just going to put a tag on her. And I'm going to call him to let him know that the bag is done. So, I made 2 bags. They're both finished. And I'm very tired. And I have started to feel better. I think cutting the dosage down a little bit helped, because this morning when I woke up, I didn't wake up feeling the way I had in the last few days, and we're just going to take it one day at a time. But I got 2 bags finished, and even though I know, like, I haven't been feeling well, I've been getting very dizzy, a lot more. Today, I only got dizzy twice, so that's a good thing. But, I can't work the way I'm used to, and it's driving me a little crazy. I've also been in a lot of pain today, and was wondering why. And now it's raining, so there's the reason why. If you don't know, my fibromyalgia gets extremely aggravated and agitated when it's going to rain or snow. So, we weren't supposed to have rain, but it was drizzling a little while ago, and I think that's why my body was in so much pain. But I wanted to show you the bag. This is where I'm going to end this video. Here is the bag. I think she looks so beautiful. And I am definitely going to make a bunch of these and put them up on my website. She looks gorgeous. And I'm telling you, even though it's like acrylic, which I really don't make bags out of, this thing is so sturdy, it's not going anywhere. You can't tell because it's the same colors, but like these straps aren't going anywhere. I do the outline going all the way around, and then, well, actually, I start from here. I go up and down like that, and then down, and then I go up and up, go back across the top, and then go down and down. So these suckers aren't going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is secure, and the inside doesn't look too bad. But you don't, in my opinion, you don't need a liner with this. Like I said, unless you're going to, like, which I don't recommend, dropping a loose yarning needle into the bag, nothing's going to come out of the bag. Or like a loose, like, crochet hook, like, and when I mean crochet hook, I mean something like, let me see, I know I have one here somewhere. Because I always do have a thin one, just in case I need to, like, fish something out. Now, apparently, I can't find anything. Here it is. Like, if you have something that's this small, maybe it might, like, poke out. But I don't recommend you to drop loose, crochet hooks or yarning needles in the bag anyway. in any kind of bag, because me, I'd stab myself. So, like, you know, like, so I always recommend that if you're going to take yarning needles and stuff with you, put it in a little pouch. But I think the bag is solid, and I really do love it. I think I am going to maybe do a pattern for it. But it does take a lot of time. Not so much to crochet, but to crochet the bag, and then crochet the straps, and then sew them on. I think it took me about an hour just to sew all the straps on the bag. But I am so happy that it's done, and this is what it looks like. And I will probably make another one. I do have a bunch of scrap. Now, I don't know if I'll have enough, because from this is all I have left of this blue. And the white from the Loops and Threads, this is all I have left. But I think I can probably make a bag out of that, like combining the blue and white and doing like blue and white, then like the dark blue and white, then the light blue and white, and then maybe doing a different color up on top, a different shade of blue, and having like 3 different blues with 3 different whites. I mean, all with white. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the dark blue, then the cornflower. They're both cornflower, but the dark one is from Loops and Threads. And so do the cornflower, and then up here do a different blue. And I think that would look so nice. And then do the strap in a different blue and white, and maybe get rid of most of that. That would be nice. And then have another bag, because the only bag now, I've made 3 of these bags, and I finally got the pattern down, I think. For the first time, I'm very, like, good with the pattern, and this time I didn't even, like, really have to look at it so much, because I already knew. I was just making sure that everything was okay, but I think it's easy to follow. And I am going to make it again. I just don't know what colors and when. It'll probably be sometime this month. Maybe even in greens. But I don't know if I'll be able to do it for St. Patty's Day, because right now I don't know how I feel. I'm in a lot of pain and still feel a little bit dizzy. I can't crochet for very long, so I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the week. But I will keep you up to date, and I'll let you know what's coming next. I'm so sorry that I can't, do the challenge the way I wanted to do it. I hope you understand, but my body's like screaming at me, and I'm trying not to push myself too hard right now, especially on the new medication. And like I said, I sit here for more than half an hour, and I start getting very dizzy. So, that's why it took me so long to make these bags. I think if I was okay, the bags would have been done by, Monday, but it just wasn't happening. But at least they're all done, and if I can get a picture of the other one, I will insert it at the end of this video. But that's going to be all for this video. Thank you so much. If you watched the whole thing, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate all of you, and especially all the new subscribers. Y'all are so wonderful and so amazing. Thank you so much for subscribing and for helping me build my channel. And I'm going to go before I start crying. So, thank you so much for sticking by me. And if you're new here, I hope you stay. I'm a little all over the place, but you know, hopefully soon I'll be a little bit better, and in the next video I'll try to explain a little bit more. But thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you. I'll Words are hard. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.